Hey loves, I'm your host, Sincerely Sarita, and you are tuned into Happy Hour on WURD, the best place in Philly to get uplifted and empowered. Shout out to all the folks joining us for Happy Hour. Hopefully, if you're out and about with your mask on, because if you're in Philly, you know it is mandatory. If you're in the state of Pennsylvania, it's mandatory that you wear, especially within a public setting. Shout out to y'all. Everybody who's getting it done with these masks on, okay? Mask off when you home, when you around your folks, but when you out in these streets, mask on. All right, appreciate those of you who are tuned in over on 96.1 FM, 900 AM, streaming on wordradio.com, Word TV via Facebook Live, and of course the free Word app, which is available in the Apple app and Google Play stores. If you are tuned in over on Word TV, you already know the deal. Do us a solid, press the share button, start a watch party. When it comes to happy hour on Word, the more the merrier. Okay, so let your folks know, make sure they're tuned in, joining us, and that all of you have your cocktails, mocktails, or water ready. It's Tuesday, and you know what that means. A couple of things for our happy hour experience, or today I should say a few things, because one, it's Thankful Tuesday. So, I want to know who or what you are thankful for today. Call in now, 215-634-8065. Again, 215-634-8065. You can also call in toll free. 866-361-0900. Again, 866-361-0900. If you're tuned in over on Work TV, you can also just drop your response in the comment section, right? Let me know who or what you are thankful for. It's also Talent Tuesday. So in addition to some in-depth interviews that we do with folks in the arts and culture scene, we also like to do a thing called open mic. So if you are a singer, poet, lyricist, rapper, whatever it may be, call in, be ready at 6:45 p.m. tonight to perform live on air. We're giving you 30 seconds. You just got to keep it clean, keep it conscious. That's it. Happy hour, open mic night, 6:45 p.m. It's going down. Be ready to call in. And again, I already dropped the numbers, but I'll drop them one more time just in case you need to put them in your notes or save it in your phone. 215-634-8065 and toll free 866-361-0900. Today is also hashtag Blackout Tuesday, or some of you may be using the hashtag Blackout Day 2020. It's a day where you either don't spend money at all, or you spend it with a Black-owned business, okay? I'm encouraging us, our community, I'm encouraging the Word fam to do the latter. So call in and let us know what Black-owned business you highly recommend, and I am emphasizing highly recommend. Like, this is your go-to spot. Maybe you personally know the owner, or maybe you just love their customer service. Maybe you love the quality of their product, or whatever it is that they're bringing to our community. I want to know those folks that you highly recommend that we support today, right now, right? Like before the clock strikes 12. Who we need to make sure we support today, and also tell us a little bit about why. Why do you love this Black-owned business? What is it that you feel that they offer or bring to our community, or is it something about their personal story that inspires you, or you feel like could inspire the Word family? So, Blackout Day 2020 or Blackout Tuesday, whichever one you may be using, we're either not spending money, or we're spending it with a Black-owned business. And I'm saying we need to spend it with a Black-owned business. If you have it to spare, if, today's the day where you're like, I got a couple little dollars to blow, or whatever it may be, or, you're in need of some things, let's support the Black-owned businesses. So call in, let us know what Black-owned businesses you highly recommend that we support today, and tell us a little bit about why. Again, those numbers, 215-634-8065. Toll free 866-361-0900. For me, today I support a Ginger. It's a Black-owned and operated tea house that is based in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. I placed my order online today. They have this ginger, turmeric, pineapple green hemp tea, 32 grams. It is currently on sale until this Friday. Among their CBD offerings, they also have organic, all-natural tea blends, sourced from the best tea farms around the world. And so if you are a tea lover, or if you have, some of the mental, the health issues that are associated with what CBD can do, in terms of alleviating, just Lord, inflammation and all kinds of stuff. CBD or hemp tea is definitely something that you may want to look into. I know I have a lot of back problems. Arthritis runs in my family. Like there are a lot of different things that for someone like me or with those kind of health concerns, CBD may be something that is worth researching for you. But it's good for like anxiety, relaxation, chronic inflammation, joint therapy, all of those things. So I placed my order for that today. But like I said, Ginger Tea offers, so many other different products that they launched in actually this year, right, in the midst of the pandemic, because this was a moment where opportunity meant preparation, and they had put the work in. They were ready and poised to serve our community in this way. And actually, Felicia Harris Williams, who is a co-founder of Ginger Tea, will be joining us tomorrow. So make sure you're ready for that interview. But if you want to learn more about Ginger Tea, you can go to GYNGERTTEA.com. That's how you spell ginger in this case, GYNGERT.com for more details. So that is the Black-owned business that I'm personally highly recommending. But I want to know what Black business you are recommending or have supported in the past, and like you want folks to know that we should be doing the same today. Okay? Again, 215-634-8065 and toll free 866-361-0900. Shout out to my girl, Kayla J, holding down the phone lines, the board, and everything in between. Kayla J, a couple of things. Like, first, who or what are you thankful for today? And is there a Black-owned business that you feel like folks should be supporting today that you got love for?
Of course, that's why I turned on my camera when you started talking about it. So I'm super thankful for my mentor, my spiritual mentor. She is doing a 6-week class for women in ministry. Well, not just women in ministry, but everybody in ministry. And I just really thankful for her today because I've been taking the classes and it's been super thankful. This is the first week. So I just want to shout out her because it was really dope. If you're a preacher or minister out there, Vandalin Kennedy Ministries, that is a Black-owned business, but that's not the one I'm highlighting. But the one I'm highlighting, I'm donned in their apparel. If you can see my shirt, it is a blinged out word shirt. And I have a blinged out mask, right? Y'all see that? It says faith on it with a cross. And I'm highlighting Glorious Glitz today. They made me a bunch of blinged out word t-shirts because if y'all know me, y'all know I love blinged out t-shirts. And you barely see me in just a regular t-shirt.
A regular degular.
Yeah, that's not my thing. I like to be shiny. So shout out to Glorious Glitz t-shirt company. They're based in Memphis, Tennessee, and I get all my t-shirts from there. So they're a Black-owned small business. They do more than just shirts too. They make masks, of course. They make bags, tea, mugs, everything. So shout out to them. And again, they're Glorious Glitz Tea Company. You can find them on their website or on Facebook and Instagram. I personally know the owners, and they're very sweet, and they get your stuff timely. Again, they're in Memphis. I ordered these masks last Monday. They was here by Friday.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
And they're good. I've been wearing their t-shirts almost all my life since I was at least 13, and some of these shirts I still have from when I was 13. They haven't ripped, torn, or faded.
Wow. Okay. So maybe, all right. So, we all tech over here. So if you're tuned in over on Word TV, Kayla J and I'm thinking we each drop the website for the Black-owned business
for sure.
that we're getting behind or stand behind. But if loves for y'all over on Word TV, if you have Black-owned businesses that you feel like we need to be supporting today, go ahead, drop their website or their link to their Instagram or Facebook, whatever it may be. Drop that in the comment section so we can go ahead and get the word out about them. Folks may decide in that moment that they want to support them. So let's get it done. Malcolm said he goes to Ron's Caribbean Cafe. Shout out to Ron's. He said the curry goat is off the chain. LOL. laugh out loud. He also said he goes to Pollock's Herb and Vitamins. Pollock's Herb and Vitamins. Um, Shalada, forgive me if I mispronounced your name. She said, Jamaica D's is my favorite for the jerk salmon platter. So those are some, y'all know I love food. And I didn't even ask y'all what y'all, whether you were celebrating the 4th of July or you just had a little cookout or whatever, what y'all ate. I don't know about y'all, but I ate good. But yes, please drop Black-owned restaurants, caterers, so on and so forth, bakeries, all of that. Let us know. Call in 215-634-8065 and toll free 866-361-0900. Okay, let's use these dollars because it's power.
Yeah,
What you got, Kayla?
we have one on the line. It was some other
Let's
folks
go.
calling. It's just so many people calling. I'm getting to y'all people. So let's go to Ms. Lynn right quick.
Ms. Lynn, you there?
How you doing? Yeah, hey girl, how you doing?
I am blessed and highly favored. How you doing?
Amen. Blessed by the best. Yes, indeed. Look, I enjoyed your show when you was on vacation. Kayla held it down. Boy, she is magnificent. And your guest hosts were all that. Your guest hosts were all that. Now, listen, I was driving down McDade Boulevard after Darby. Then I don't know these things. Don't tell nobody. I only been living here for over 30 years. But anyway, I said, I'm going to go get me a water ice from my favorite water ice place, which is CJ's on McDade Boulevard. I'm looking at this street. What is this? Oh, I can't even see. I'm sorry. But it's across the street from Cupcake Kale. You ever, no, Capology. Cupcake Capology. They're Black-owned, too. You ever heard of them?
I haven't. You putting me on to some stuff now.
Yeah, they are Black-owned. It's on McDade Boulevard. It's right before you get to Walmart in Glen Olden, like 2 blocks away from Glen Olden. But I'm going to my buddy CJ's Water Ice because, honey, this heat is, like, killing me. And my other delicious soul food Black-owned business is Sugar Shack on Chester Pike. It's like one block over from McDade. Yeah, now I'm on McDade. That's what I'm on. But Sugar Shack is all that. It's a soul food restaurant. Ooh, Lord. I mean, you will be licking them fingers, honey child.
Okay, so wait, Sugar Shack, like SHACK?
No, it's not. It's not spelled like that. I'm going to try to write it in on Facebook when I pulled over to get my water ice. So when I'm eating on my water ice, I'm going to I'm going to tell you about it. But thank you, girl.
No, thank you. And shout out to CJ's Water Ice and Ice Cream. They're at McDade Boulevard.
Thank you for reminding me because I was getting ready to go home and drink some lemon water, and that's corny. So I'm glad.
But it's healthy, Ms. Lynn. But it's healthy. I'm with you with the water ice, but get your lemon water in a little bit later.
It cleans you out and everything. You're right about that. But don't forget to put everything on Facebook, especially the ginger tea, because I need some CBD for my back pain, arthritis, and I just need that tea because I just love those flavors, okay? So put all that on the website. I mean, on the Facebook, and I'll put mine. And y'all have a day. You girls are doing a fantastic job. I just can't get enough of y'all.
Thank you, Miss Lynn. And I did. Loves who are tuned in over on Word TV. I dropped the Ginger Tea website over there. So y'all got it. And listen, if y'all, I just saw Hodges ask, like, where's Jamaican D's located? So make sure when you're dropping these business names, you are putting their either their address or their website. I mean, we could get a whole little Black-owned directory popping right here in the comments section over on Word TV. Okay, so let's do that and make that, a goal for us because we got 3 hours together. Just about. So, we can get a lot done in 3 hours. How much money can we infuse or inject into Black-owned businesses just within this time period, whether it's online or, going to their locations, whatever it may be. So shout out to everyone who's taking part in that. Let's go to line 1. We got Maurice on line 1. Hey, Maurice, you there?
Hey, sister, yes. I'm going to say Jamaica D, but the reason I called to clarify something yesterday with Miss Kayla J., and Mr. Eric Nixon. I like to say, Kayla, when you say work with the local officials, and a caller called in and said that I was all over the place, and that we need to start organizations. But I like to be clear on something. That I'm Maurice from North Philly, but I need 39 credits to graduate with a bachelor's degree in business and a minor in economics. I was going to school to be a mortician. Secondly, I created 5 organizations in Philadelphia. In my community, I created a playground friends group to save the playground from being tore down. I created an RCO group to do a zoning of the community. I created a nonprofit group for the community to have, and I created, last but least, I created a national organization that's looking to take our organization to international status. So when they say that rules of engagement, I understand rules of engagement because I've been working with 9 out of the 10 districts that deal with councilmatic districts, and I've been working with state representatives. From 2012 to 2018, I worked with over 10,000 kids in the city of Philadelphia. So when I talk about rules of engagement, I totally understand rules of engagement, and I understand how this thing works. Thank you.
Got you.
But
I appreciate you calling in to clear that up. You got a black-owned business you want to put on the map?
Yes.
Yep.
Jamaican D's.
Oh, go ahead. Jamaican D's. That's where we're going with. All right. And Love's over on Word TV. I just dropped the address for Jamaican D's. And if you like all of these places, you can, Google them. I know Jamaican D's, I think, also participates in like some of these food delivery services. So, because the Rona is still real. So if you maybe just want to have contactless or some kind of delivery instead of going in, it looks like they also participate in that. Let's go to, I don't know, Kayla J, we want to go to break and then we'll come back to the phone lines?
Let's take these last few calls.
Okay. All right, so let's go to line 3. It looks like we got, is it TJ on line 3?
Yeah, hi. How are you? I'd like to recommend Black Coffee Company. They are HBCU graduates. They came together and created this Black Coffee Company. They get the content directly from the African continent, and they sell black coffee, and they also sell black tea. And they also have an investment club, so it's at Black. I think it's blackcoffeecompany.com, and they also have a Facebook page.
So you started going out a bit there. Is it the blackcoffeecompany.com? Is that the website? Because I have that pulled up, if that's it.
Yes, Black Coffee.
Okay. Thank you so much for calling in and putting them on our map. And Loves, again, over on Word TV, I'm dropping these the links to these websites so you can go there, check them out, do your research, look at testimonials and all of that good stuff, to decide whether or not you want to support. Of course, reminding you that the goal is to support them today. Right, is to make that kind of investment today. Let's go to line 4. It looks like we have Bobby. Is this Miss Bobby on line 4?
Yes, baby. Thanks.
Hello. How are you?
I'm wonderful, sweetheart. I'm so proud of you guys, but you already know that. So let me give you this little history. I'm listening on Word. Yes, I never turn off Word. But anyway, I'm doing some work on the computer and listening to Word, right? And I think it was the rapping professor. I might be wrong, but I think he was the one. Someone called to remind the people that today we buy black, right? I wrote it down on the calendar, but you know how that goes. So anyway, I was like, yay, I'm glad I caught this. So let me give you a short history. I haven't been here that long to move around, so I got on the internet today to look at black business in Philadelphia because I'm in that area, right? So I got a list of 6 black potential grocery stores. So I started from the bottom because it was the closest to my house zip code. It's called South Square Market. I walk in, I'm just like, I'm catching the bus, I'm in the heat, I'm just excited. I'm finding this black store, right? I walk in the store, and there's 4 lines of cash register. At each line of cash register that's at the cash rate where the money is not black people. I'm like, what the heck? Then this one young lady, she's a black lady, she's standing out begging. I said, ain't no way this is a black-owned store. So here's my point, is that I made 1 error, but I have 5 more to go through. So tomorrow I'm going to the next one and the next one and the next one. So thank you for hearing my call.
I appreciate you. And yeah, I mean, You too, and definitely appreciate you, doing your part in terms of research and actually going to the places and, checking things out before you go recommending them, right? Trying to get a feel for how does this business operate, if this is Black owned or Black people being employed or benefiting from it. And so I think that's definitely, again, the work that we have to do, the research that we have to do. And that's why the question, or what I made sure to emphasize with the question asked is, what are Black owned businesses, Black owned and operated businesses that you highly recommend, right? Like those businesses that, without a doubt are Black owned, Black operated, and that we can support today. Because that's who we want to make sure we highlight, we amplify, we get the word out about today, is that, we go to them and we make sure that we're keeping our dollars in the Black community in that way. Okay, so call in if you have any more, 215-634-8065, toll free 866-361-0900. You can do that all throughout the show. Real quick before we go to break, because I know, we getting low on time just in this day alone, and I had this saved more so for the headlines, which we will get to. But just a quick voting reminder for the month of July. Today, Delaware and New Jersey, if you have not already, I need you to get out there and vote, okay? Primaries are happening. The presidential primary is happening. In both states, they have been rescheduled, and they are rescheduled for today. So if you have not gotten your butt up to go and place your vote today, get your mask, get your hand sanitizer, do what you need to do, find your polling place, and get out there and make sure you go vote, okay? That's just a reminder if you live in Delaware or New Jersey. Today is your presidential primary voting day, so let's go ahead and do what we need to do. Let's handle that business. All right, we're taking a quick break. You're listening to Happy Hour on WURD Radio 96.1 FM 900 AM. When we come back on the other side, I'll let you know what's on tap for Happy Hour tonight, as well as those headlines that we have coming to you. We'll be back after these messages.
Now, a traffic update on Word Radio.
Traffic is at a crawl on 95 southbound, the Betsy Ross Bridge to the Vine Expressway. An earlier overturned vehicle just cleared. All lanes are open once again, but expect some big delays there as everything gets going. Northbound 95 at jams the Vine Expressway up to Bridge Street. On the Vine Expressway, eastbound at jams 76 into Broad. Westbound on the Vine, it's heavy the Ben Franklin Parkway to the Schuylkill Expressway. Schuylkill eastbound is jamming as you go from 476 into Gladwin, then Montgomery into the Vine Expressway. Westbound 76 jams from the Boulevard out to Belmont. And the Boulevard northbound, that is sluggish as you go from 76 into Broad Street. No big delays on any of the bridges over the Delaware River. Through South Jersey, not too bad. 42, 55, 295, they are all moving freely at the moment.
During the Mattress Firm 4th of July sale, get a king bed for a queen price or a queen for a twin price for a savings of up to $500. Plus, get a free adjustable base with a purchase of $6.99.
For more traffic information, log on to SIGAlert.com. I'm Brendan Joseph with your Philadelphia area traffic.
The Dr. Emeka Show. Saturdays at 1 p.m. right here on WURD 96.1 FM and 900 AM. Streaming live at wordradio.com and on the Word Radio app.
Always Best Care is a great place to work. Flexibility,
leadership, purpose,
great benefits.
There's never a dull moment.
Diversity, inclusion,
compasión. We love our jobs. If you're looking for a great place to work, you can join our compassionate Team Green. You can apply online at teamgreenabc.com or call 267-909-9248.
Teamwork makes the dream work.
WordRadio.com.
Hey, Dad, your prescription will be ready in just a minute. Hey, Dad, your laundry will be ready in just a minute. Dad, your lunch will be ready in just a minute.
Hey, honey, why don't you take a minute? When you help care for a loved one, you give them as much time as you can. But it's just as important to take time for yourself. AARP can help. Find free care guides to support you and your loved one at aarp.org/caregiving. That's aarp.org/caregiving. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
It's Happy Hour with Sincerely Sarita right now on Word Radio and WordRadio.com.
Do you remember the 21st night of September? Love was changing the minds of pretenders while chasing the clouds away. Our hearts are ringing in the key that our souls were singing as we dance in the night. Remember how the stars stole the night away.
You are back listening to Happy Hour on WURD Radio 96.1 FM 900 AM. I'm your host, Sincerely Sarita. Shout out to everyone who is showing up, pulling up for, Blackout Tuesday, or some of you may, be more familiar with it through the hashtag Blackout Day 2020. But it's basically a day when you either don't spend money or you spend it with a Black-owned business. And the Word family is pushing through, letting us know what Black-owned businesses we, need to be supporting. I shouted out and supported Ginger Tea. It's Ginger spelled with a Y, not an I. Shout out to Felicia Harris-Williams. She'll be on the show tomorrow talking about Ginger Tea. Kayla J, y'all, she dropped her link for, if you like blinged out stuff, exclusive, type, whether it's your mask or a t-shirt, whatever it may be. She gets hers from Glorious Glitz Rhinestone T-Shirt Company. Glorious, spelled exactly how it's supposed to be spelled. Glitz, G-O-I-T-Z, Rhinestone T-Shirt Company. She dropped their website in there. Malcolm, he shouted out Jimmy's Bakery. That was a new one that we had come through. Jimmy's Bakery on Germantown Avenue. Let's see who else. We have the Black Coffee Company. We have Kayla J shouted out another one, Caribbean Feast at Broad and Rising Sun. Dom over on Word TV shouted out tranquilhill.co. Tranquil, Tranquil, Hill, Hill, tranquilhill.co, a Black-owned herbal tea line. Let's see who else. I got to catch up with everybody because y'all bringing it. Oh, shout out to Miss Lynn. She ended up dropping, Miss Lynn dropped the info for CJ's Water Ice, Cupcakeology. This is all, looks like, close to like the Collindale, Darby, PA area. And Miss Lynn said that, first of all, she feels CJ's water ice is the best water ice ever, but that he gave her a medium strawberry banana and charged her for a small for putting the word out on WURD. So look, when you supporting these businesses, whether you're going to the location or, putting an order in online, make sure you let them know that you shouted them out over on Word TV, wordradio.com, 96.1 FM, 900 AM, because we want them to also know that we're here and available to provide access to our folks so that more people know that they exist and that we need to support them. And then also, we have advertising opportunities. We have business membership opportunities. Shout out to Amina Lipscomb. She was just on yesterday talking about like everything that we have popping with membership and all these new things that are coming down the pipeline. So, we're really trying to create, if not a funnel, but definitely a pipeline of, businesses, Black-owned businesses, our community, the Black dollar, and making sure that it's circulating, y'all. And we can do that. We can definitely do that. And shout out to Jasmine Sessoms. Facebook just notified me that she dropped in and was tuning in or is tuning in to our Word TV. She was one of our guest hosts last week. Honey held it down. She ended up texting me afterward like, this is hard work. 3 hours doing the show is hard work, and she was just like saluting Kayla J and I. And yes, it is hard work, and Jasmine got it done, and all of my guest hosts got it done. So salute to them. Definitely appreciate you all. What you got, Kayla J?
Before we go, I got to put one more Black business on. When I started seeing the bakeries, I had to shout out this bakery because I ain't even gonna lie, I never get like sweet goods from them. I go and get a good po' boy. Shout out to Gilbin's Bakery over on Stenton and Johnson.
I've been wanting to get out. Oh, see, now you just.
Hunty, they down the street from my mama's church.
I've been wanting to get to them.
My mom be like on Sundays, why are you at my church? Listen, be quiet. I left my church early. I came down here to give me some food, and I'm at your church to get a ride home. Leave me alone.
All right, so you got to drop the deets for them in Word TV, because I've been wanting. I saw them. Yeah, I saw someone post about them over on Instagram, and I've been wanting to get to them. So yeah, let's drop that.
I'm gonna let you know when you
and we
go,
got some folks on.
Life.
Well, I mean, we do try to do. So you just let me know if you ever want to, be a blessing to me in my life.
When the Rona's over, I got you.
When the Rona's over.
When the Rona's over, I got you. Because Gilbin's is I'm a little overdue for my fried chicken sandwich.
Oh, that sounds all right. Wait, let's go to the phone lines because I'm hungry now. So I ain't eat much today, y'all. My stomach. All right, I think we're gonna get through. We're gonna get through. I think we got Mo on line one.
Yeah.
Mo, you there?
Yeah. I want to shout out United. I want to shout out the United Bank of Philadelphia. They need our business. And I want to shout out the Hill District Credit Union, Pittsburgh. Before Philadelphia had the United Bank of Philadelphia, we had written the Hill District back in the 80s. They sent us an application. We were able to fill the application, open up an account in the Hill District, all the way from Philly, and we was able to do business with them. So I want to shout them out for being one of the pioneers with Black Bank.
Wow. And once again, drop that out in Pittsburgh, the Hill District, the full name of it?
Union. The Hill District Black-owned credit union up on the hill in Pittsburgh.
Okay, there we have it. I'm going to go ahead and get those links together, y'all. I will drop both of them in our Word TV, so when you're thinking about literally where you put your money at, who you bank with, you have the United Bank of Philadelphia and you have the Hill District Credit Union, Federal Credit Union, that are apparently both Black-owned. So I'll drop those links in there. And then I think we have another caller, Cliff, on line 2. Hey, Cliff, are you there?
Yes, I am. Hello, Hotep. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. What you got for us today?
Okay. Instead of eating, what would you like to do on a nice, hot, sunny day? Go swimming. Therefore, we have the Black-owned and operated Nile Swim Club of Yaden, the Nile Swim Club. It's been in existence since 1959. And presently it is the only African-American swim club in the United States.
Got you.
Yes,
Got you.
yeah,
All right.
shout out
Now,
to
Swim
that
Club.
swim team.
Yes.
Yeah, they're more than what, at this point, I think like 60 years, over
Yeah.
60 years of operation. So, yeah, appreciate you, Cliff. We're going to go ahead. I'm going to drop that link. I have it pulled up. So 3 links, loves, if you're tuned in over on Word TV that are coming your way. United Bank of Philadelphia. Their website is ubphila, phila.com. Hill District, right? The Hill District Federal Credit Union. That is Hill, Hill District, FCU.org. And then you have the Now Swim Club. That's now, NILE, swimclub.org. So I'm going to go ahead.
Me, I used to be a swimmer until I got injured.
Look at that. You learn something new about
Kansas
J all the time.
That wasn't the swim team I swam on. I swam on a predominantly African-American team. But I did swim for a very long time until college.
Got you. And I'm just a mermaid by nature, so never been on a swim team, but honey, I live and breathe water. I love me some water, and just to swim and float and just be. So shout out to the Now Swim Club. And as we speak, I'm dropping all of these websites over on Word TV. If you haven't already, these are just, this is just one instance of why you need to make sure you follow the WURD Facebook page, because you get like direct access, right? You don't have to do the research. I'm literally doing it on air right now for you, getting these websites, compiling them, so that all you have to do is tap today's show, the video for today's show, and look at the comment section. And from there, you pretty much have a mini directory of Black-owned businesses, right? So doing that, I'm going to take a quick break. Yes, I know we still didn't get to headlines and stuff. Y'all know we're going to get it done one way or another. Real quick, though, what I will do is give you the rundown for today's show, right? What we have on tap for Happy Hour. Up next at 4:45, DJ Geek is bringing us this week's Geekin' Mix. Make sure you're ready for that, to vibe out, get your body moving. If you ain't been moving, you've been sitting, it's time to get up, just get a little two-step, a little something going on. At 5 p.m., we're spicing it up again today for our pop culture take. Kayla J and I will each share 3 things, 3 of the happenings on our radar. And y'all, it's quite a bit between what she got and what I got. It's 2020. Okay, let me just say that. It's 2020. At 5:30 p.m. For Talent Tuesday, we have Karen Slack. She's an American soprano. She's going to be joining us to discuss the world of, opera and music and singing and all of that good stuff. At 6 p.m., we're keeping those Talent Tuesdays vibes going. With the livelihood segment, we're going to welcome Jeffrey L. Page. He is the I'm getting everything mixed up. The directing resident artist for the Philadelphia Theater Company, also an Emmy and Tony nominated choreographer. Jeffrey shifted a career from choreography to directing by getting an MFA from Columbia University and Juilliard, becoming the first Black man to be awarded a fellowship in opera directing. And then at 6:30 p.m., Cal Ingram, founder of Fagan Ingram Media, LLC, will join us to discuss his latest project, Saturday Night Chakra. It's a visual and ambient album available on all streaming platforms. And, music can really facilitate healing among our individual and collective consciousness. And so today we're going to chat with Cal a bit about that and possibly more, because I saw he had some thoughts on Kanye West for President 2020. So I want to hear his thoughts, especially since that ties into one of my pop culture happenings that's going on. And then at 6:45 p.m., it's open mic night. I hope y'all ready. Talent Tuesday. You're listening to Happy Hour on WURD Radio 96.1 FM, 900 AM. We'll be back after these messages.
Dietz & Watson has been making premium meats and artisan cheeses for over 80 years. And when it comes to stacking sandwiches and party platters, they've got something for everyone in the family, like maple honey turkey breast, American cheese, buffalo chicken, and more. So get to your local deli and taste 4 generations of family recipes. With Dietz & Watson on the table, you'll have everyone coming back for seconds and thirds. Dietz & Watson, it's a family thing since 1939. Support independent Black media and join the Forward movement now at 215-425-7875 or visit wordradio.com.
Need a new mattress? Stop by to see Julian, the mattress man, located at 7421 Stenton Avenue. You deal directly with the owner, Julian, to ensure the best prices on name brand mattresses like Sealy, Posturepedic. Call 215-424-5550. That's 215-424-5550.
It's Happy Hour with Sincerely Sarita right now on Word Radio and WordRadio.com.
You are now rocking with DJ E.
Hey, feeling good, like I should. When in dark, walk around the neighborhood. Feeling blessed, never stressed. Got that sunshine on my Sunday best. Every day can be a better day despite the challenge. All you gotta do is leave it better than you found it. It's gonna get difficult to stand, but hold your balance. I just say whatever, cause there is no way you're around it. Everyone falls down sometime, but you just gotta know it'll all be fine. It's okay. It's okay, it's okay. Hey, feeling good, like I should. When in dark, walk around the neighborhood. Feeling blessed, never stressed. Got that sunshine on my Sunday best. Hey, some days you wake up and nothing works, you feel surrounded. Gotta give your feet some gravity to get you grounded. Keep good things inside your ears just like the waves and sound it. And just say whatever, cause there is no way you're grounded. Everyone falls down sometime, but you just gotta know it'll all be fine. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. Hey, feeling good, like I should. When in dark, walk around the neighborhood. Feeling blessed, never stressed. Got that sunshine on my Sunday best.
I can't believe all of the things they say about me. Walk in the room, they throwing shade left to
open. Baby, I seen the time that you tried to creep in. You got the key to my heart unlocked. I'm bleeding, I'll make it stop. And that's making me feel crazy. Been out your mind lately. Must be out of your mind, love. Got me running this time, love. And we running out of time, love. You can't see through those mirrors. What is love if there's no trust? How you never show me love. The first simple for showing up. And I hope all that pays off, cause you lost me. Was about this time last week. You got the nerve to be mad now. Now I'm by myself in a bag now. You know it now, you know it now. You know it now, it's too late. Gotta let it go, it's too late. And you swear you was right. No, I don't need you in my life. Don't you try to swaddle me with lullabies. Baby, I know those sweet lips are always filled with lies. Baby, I'm tired of chasing you. This thing we got is overdue. Thinking I'm gonna take you back, but that's the last thing that I do. Must be out of your mind, love. Got me running this time, love. And we running out of time, love. You can't see through those mirrors. What is love if there's no trust? How you never show me love. You look real simple for showing up. And I hope all that pays off, cause you lost me. Was about this time last week. You got the nerve to be mad now. Now I'm by myself in a bag now. You know it now, you know it now. You know it now, it's too late. Gotta let it go, it's too late. And you swear you was right. No, I don't need you in my life.
Even when I close my eyes, I can see you, I can feel your hand in mine. Can we run away from here as fast as we can fantasize? Tell me what I wanna hear and take me to my paradise. Where do we go wrong? And where do we go wrong? When you change your mind, when did he come in the picture? When did he take what's mine? I thought I claimed you, yeah, I thought I made you my one and only. I thought you came through, I thought you told me you gonna love me. You gonna love me for eternity, turning my heart into dust. Crushing and stomping it, I love the rush. You think you harmless, but I'm feeling lost. I'm feeling lost, girl. Paint me like a canvas, put your hand in mine again. Take me right for granted, I can't stand when you were here. Even when I close my eyes, I can see you, I can feel your hand in mine. Can we run away from here as fast as we can fantasize? Tell me what I wanna hear and take me to my paradise. Where do we go wrong? Yeah. I leave it up to you. Stars in the skies and the moon. The scars and the lies and the truth all come around sometime. How about you? I said I leave it up to you. Stars in the skies and the moon. The scars and the lies and the truth all come around sometime. How about you? How about you? How about
Wish I could start it over. Baby, I need you over. Wish I could taste, kiss you down by your waist. He treat you wrong. Wish I could show you love. Wish I could make you know it. Baby, you need to know it. Where do you go? Every time I touch you there. Whispering love, ain't nobody gotta hear. He lost control, doesn't even know you're here. Nobody knows, I just keep it in my head. I don't say too much, I just hear the touch. Baby, I don't say too much, I just hear the touch. Baby, I just hear the touch.
You are back listening to Happy Hour on WURD Radio 96.1 FM 900 AM. That was just a little taste, a little something of this week's Geek and Mix, brought to you by the one and only DJ Geek. That's Geek with 3s, not E's. So make sure you follow her over on Instagram at DJ Geek. We're taking a quick break. When we come back on the other side, we're talking pop culture and everything around it, okay? It's a lot going on. There's a lot going on out here in these streets, y'all. And I appreciate you, all of you who are already starting to chime in with, some of the things on your radar over on Word TV. Shout out to, I'm going to go by the last name, Smallwood. They're speaking about Deshaun Jackson and this bit of a stink that has risen as a result of, some social media posts that were put up. And so I'll read their full comment when we come back on the other side. But Kayla J and I are each bringing you 3 things on our radar when it comes to pop culture, arts, so on and so forth. So stay tuned. It's Talent Tuesday, Thankful Tuesday. I want to know who or what you are thankful for over here at WURD Radio. Happy Hour, 215-634-8065 and toll free 866-361-0900. That's how you can join the conversation. We'll be back after these messages.
Listen to Laborers Live.
We created the weekend. We created the 40-hour work week. We just want enough to feed our family, be able to send our children to college, and let our next generation do better than we did.
To people that might have forgot how important unionism is in a country like the United States. People now infringing on our 8-hour workday, trying to work people more than 8 hours without overtime, trying to work people without benefits. In the long run, everybody's getting a fat paycheck except the worker. So this is really a wake-up call for America.
The struggle is continuous. Tune in to Laborers Live every Friday from 4 to 5 p.m. Sponsored by LESIT, the Laborers Employers Cooperation Education Trust of the Laborers District Council of Philadelphia and vicinity.
Local 332, Sam Staten Jr. Business Manager. Local 57, Esteban Vera Business Manager. Local 135, Dan Woodall Jr. Business Manager. Local 413, James Harper Jr. Business Manager. The Laborers District Council, Ryan Boyer Business Manager, and Tony Staten, Executive Director of LESIT.
Warning. If you're drowning in debt you can't afford, do not let the credit card companies trick you into thinking that you have to pay it all back, because you don't. What the credit card companies don't want you to know is that there's actually a way to get debt-free without paying off your entire debt or going bankrupt. If you have $10,000 or more in credit card debt, you have the right to let us settle that debt for a fraction of what you owe. For free information, call Credit Associates now. 1-800-965-5269. We'll even show you how much money you could save. If you can't afford to pay off all your debt, do not let the credit card companies trick you into thinking that you have to. Call Credit Associates for free information on how to get debt-free faster than you ever thought possible, without debt consolidation or bankruptcy. We depend on your success and offer a guarantee, so there's no risk to call. For free information, call now. 1-800-965-5269. That's 1-800-965-5269. 1-800-965-5269.
This is Word Radio, 96.1 FM and 900 AM WURD Philadelphia. Black Talk Media.
Something to say. They say you'll never be what you want to be, and you'll never get but so far. Ooh, I'm trying hard, gotta hold my tongue. Times like this I wish I really could say. I wanna tell them shut up, I'm moving up. No time for the haters, if not to be greater. They need to shut up, I'm climbing up. This is
You are back listening to Happy Hour on WURD Radio, 96.1 FM, 900 AM. Talent Tuesday, Thankful Tuesday. I want to know who or what you are thankful for. I know it's a lot going on in the world, y'all. I know many of us, may be stressed or, trying to figure out how to just live, let alone survive or thrive amidst global pandemic, a social uprising when it comes to racial or just injustices in general, but definitely race-based injustices when it comes to the Black community. And, just trying to figure out life on a day-to-day basis. It's a lot. I don't know about y'all, but it's a lot, okay? And trying to navigate all that comes with it. So even in the midst of all of that, there's always one thing that we can find to be thankful for, right? That's what I believe. And that may be the optimist in me that's speaking, and I fully own that and will not apologize for it. But, I want to know who or what you are thankful for today. So call in, let me know. 215-634-8065. That is the hotline number, and toll free 866-361-0900. Shout out to Cedric, who is tuned in over on Word TV, and so many of you who are engaged in the conversation, sharing the live stream. If you started a watch party, all of that good stuff, we appreciate you. Kayla J and I are about to get into our pop culture top threes.
Let's see.
Between the two of us, we got quite a bit here, but I do want to shout out Kay Smallwood over on Instagram who said this. Good afternoon, everyone. I am just okay. I am just so upset with the way that these folks are once again trying to take a paddle to Deshaun Jackson. It's just disgusting and reprehensible when people say something. The first law should be that we listen to them and try to hear what they're saying before we start destroying people. And this is just what they are doing to this man. It's just killing me. I'm so sick and tired of white people thinking that they're the censors of speech in this country, not only of speech, but of thought and ideology as well. I think we really have to fight back against this sort of whitewashing and censoring of thought. And I think white people think that if they get rid of Confederate flags and statues that the Civil War never existed, which is ridiculous, and you can't rebuild Germany and not know its history and not allow for its history. There are many deep-seated rifts between Jews and African Americans to the extent that most white people are not even aware of this because, well, they don't pay attention to us, so why would they know that? So anything that the African American said or African American says sounds remotely detrimental about Jews. And it goes on and on. I haven't had a chance to fully go through that entire comment. But if you're wondering what is being referenced on his Instagram, Deshaun Jackson, shared some posts or reposted some things that some are calling anti-Semitic. And I did not personally see the post, so I have to be honest and say that I'm really at this point only able to go off of what is being reported in mainstream media. But apparently with these social media posts, there was some attribution to Adolf Hitler, some admiration for the Nation of Islam leader Louis Farrakhan. And so one of these posts, it seems like at some point, said that white Jews, quote unquote, will blackmail America, will extort America. Their plan for world domination won't work if the Negroes know who they are. And so he has since issued or posted a video apologizing for, this post. In his recent one, which was posted about 5 hours ago, I'm quoting him here. He says, I post a lot of things that are sent to me. I do not have hatred towards anyone. I really didn't realize what this passage was saying. Hitler has caused terrible pain to Jewish people, like the pain African Americans have suffered. We should be together fighting anti-Semitism and racism. This was a mistake to post this, and I truly apologize for posting it, and sorry for any hurt I have caused. So that is his response to what is going on at this moment and the backlash that he is experiencing. It looks like the Philadelphia Eagles have responded by, calling his post, quote unquote, offensive, harmful, and absolutely appalling, and saying that the team would take, quote unquote, appropriate action. And so I guess there's more to come on that. I mean, if you have caught wind of the story, by all means, do call in. Let me know your thoughts. Let us know where you're at with it. Is this an instance for you where it's cancel culture, or is this just, someone reposting something that was sent to them, maybe not doing the research or due diligence and figuring out the root of it. I mean, I don't know. Where are you at with it? 215-634-8065, toll free 866-361-0900. But Kayla J, I figured we could do one for one this week. So you give one, then I give one, then you give one, and we just keep that going. What's your first one?
See, so you mentioned it earlier, Kanye this weekend talking about something, he running for president. And Twitter being Twitter, right? They was like, well, if Kanye is going to be president, we're going to change the national anthem. So there is a hashtag going out over on Twitter about what your national anthem is going to be in national anthem suggestions. And some of the songs they just picked was just like, all right. Somebody said the breaking heartbreak song by Taylor Swift should be the new national anthem.
Okay, so I'm guessing that's because of the whole beef that Kanye and Taylor had.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's just a whole list of folks just saying what they rather the national anthem be versus than the Star Spangled Banner. So my question to you, if Kanye's president, we changing the national anthem, what's your national anthem, Sarita?
I'm not dedicating brain energy to that. I won't kill brain cells that way. There are many ways to kill brain cells. That's not one that I'm going to engage in today. Not today, say. The black, if anything, the black national anthem. We can stick with that. Okay, because that's about it. I'm not doing this with y'all on Twitter. I'm not.
I was having a good old time. Like, some people just had clips of songs, like just that make that. It was one I can't even remember, but it was like, I'm just gonna wave my sweaty socks in the air, and I was like, yeah.
Oh gosh.
But
No.
it's hilarious. If y'all want to see it, it's over on Twitter. It's also on What's Trending. I follow that app and get that news. So when this popped up, I was cracking up just watching the people be like, yeah, Kanye for president, and here's my new national anthem.
Okay. Well, y'all, I'm definitely, here to see what ideas you come up with. But just off of some of that I saw, you won't see me singing the national anthem. Okay, that's what it won't be. Can tell you that. All right, so mine. Hashtag Black Female Anonymous. Okay, if you have not heard of them, go search that hashtag Black Female Anonymous. They are telling Essence magazine, yes, Essence, the Essence, to quote unquote fix it or fold. So if you maybe missed this, didn't catch one of it, don't worry. I'm trying to break it down as quickly as I can. On June 28th, BFA, Black Female Anonymous, exposed alleged abuses at Essence, including pay inequity, sexual harassment, workplace bullying, and intimidation. And so in doing that, they demanded the immediate resignation of C-suite executives, including Rich Lou Dennis, who is the owner and chief executive officer of Essence Ventures. And Essence Ventures is like pretty much the umbrella for Essence Communications, which includes Essence Magazine, Essence.com, the Essence Festival, right? Michelle Ebanks, who is Essence Ventures board member and former Essence Communications CEO. Joy Collins Prophet, who is the chief operating, or was the chief operating officer, and Moana Liu, who was the chief content officer. So on July 3rd, Essence C-suite obliged, right? Dennis apparently will be removed from the operations while an internal investigation led by new interim CEO Caroline Wanga occurs. Collins Prophet and Ebanks reportedly left the company prior to this testimonial of what looks like current and previous employees went live. And so BFA is now expecting to see Essence put a plan in place to right these wrongs that they allege, including equitable salaries at market rate, up to code internal policies, and a quote-unquote premier maternity leave policy in the nation, citing that the Black Black maternal mortality rate is among, if not the highest in the nation. And that's in addition to a slew of other things that they are expecting to see changes in. And so BFA maintains that it is a platform for Black women to safely expose workplace inequity, mistreatment, and abuses at all companies, whether they are Black owned or white owned. In their own words, they said this, quote unquote, anonymity is not a sign of weakness or unfounded claims. It is a sign of the toxicity and fear that plagues organizations. When you harm Black women, expect us. So just so you know, Black-owned businesses also are on alert. Like I said, folks can chew gum and talk at the same time. So the same way we hold the world accountable, the same way we hold society accountable when it comes to white supremacy, racist ideologies, and all of this other stuff, we're also holding ourselves, apparently, as we should, accountable for what's happening not only in the workplace, but in our communities, so on and so forth. Essence did at various points issue a statement. I'm gonna be honest, when I went to their Instagram and saw one of the statements that they issued, it was the same thing that we criticize white-owned companies or, you know, these major corporations for. If a company had dropped something like this, we would have criticized them too. Okay, we would have absolutely criticized them too. And I'm gonna read the statement because it's a pretty brief one that they put on Instagram. For 50 years, Essence has worked to uplift the voices of, provide platforms for, and generate opportunities that elevate Black women and communities. We have committed ourselves to this work every single day since being founded in 1970, and that has been accelerated over our past 2 years as a 100% Black family-owned company. It is extremely important that we foster a safe, transparent, and respectful workplace for everyone. We will continue to do the work to be better every day and come together as an organization for each other and for Black women globally to build together, change together, and rock together. Hashtag rise. If you didn't know what was going on, you would not even know why they were making a statement and what they were addressing. And that is part of the problem. And there's something that I'm sifting through even on the back end. When it comes to my children and some stuff that y'all may end up hearing about at some point, is like, you can't issue statements and not provide context to the public. And I feel like that's exactly, unfortunately, what Essence ended up doing. What you issued this statement, and people may not have even known what you were talking about, and yet now, after that statement, we start to see folks being C-suite positions. And it's a problem. It's a problem. Go ahead.
You're breaking up a bit, so that's all.
I was breaking up. All right. Well, I'll leave that at that. What I'm gonna say is, whether you're Black owned or white owned, these half behind excuses or explanations of what you're doing or what you're trying to do or how you're going to do better is not enough. Put a name to it, call it out, let it be what it is. Don't just leave people kind of in the dark trying to figure out what are they talking about. Let's be real and speak on it. So that's my first one. Okay, Jay, what you got next?
Listen, you set my next one up. You set my next one up because a young Harvard graduate, got a job right out of college. She didn't even start yet, because graduations just kind of popped off about 2 months ago. She was fired from her job for making a Black Lives Matter TikTok. I want y'all to know that she is not a person of color. She might be a person of color, but she's young. She's fair-skinned. She may be Hispanic. Not quite sure. But she was fired for making a Black Lives Matter TikTok. And in her TikTok, she was just ranting and raving on how she's tired of folks saying all lives matter, right? And she made a joke. She said that's like me getting a paper cut and coming to you saying my paper cut matters too. My blood matters too, and it's bleeding all over the place. And her employer did not like that. She went on to say that the paper cut part was the joke, but she is tired of folks saying all lives matter. She was saying how African Americans have been abused in this country for a long time. She always used her TikTok to talk about American politics and bring history into it. So she's always making informative TikToks about what she feels is right, what she feels is wrong. She even calls out politicians, y'all. Like, she's on her stuff. And she got this amazing job. Before she could start the job, her employer saw her TikTok about Black Lives Matter and fired her.
Mm. Mm. And that's the. So what you feel about it?
I feel bad for the young lady because I know some folks aren't for allies. I'm with allies. If someone of the lighter hue persuasion wants to fight this fight with us, I'm all for that.
You say the lighter hue persuasion. What? Oh, I can't with you. The lighter hue. Go ahead.
Listen, I'm for that, you know. And I watched her TikTok. I thought it was funny. I immediately knew that my paper cut matter was a joke. I really did. But
but let's call it out. She got fired from Deloitte. Because if I'm not mistaken, Deloitte we got a Deloitte in Philly. So she got fired from Deloitte because of this.
Right.
So part of what I've been wondering is because I think we also saw this at a few other companies who who made these public statements about Black Lives Mattering, and then when their employees showed up, you know, with a Black Lives Matter face mask to go to work or a Black Lives Matter t-shirt or something like that, they were either sent home, written up, or fired for making these statements through their clothing. So, like, you made this public statement of Black Lives Matter, but if an employee shows up, especially if you ain't, this is my thing, if you're not providing a mask, like, where do you draw the line on what can and cannot be on a mask if you have publicly stated that Black Lives Matter? And then you have an employee that shows up with a mask that says Black Lives Matter, or you have an employee who does a TikTok that says Black Lives Matter specifically, and you have already made a public statement or, you know, made it clear that, you know, that Black Lives Matter, whether you use that messaging or not, where do you draw the line at? Like, we halfway in, halfway out. What is it? Is it one or the other?
It's the other, and they don't want to admit that it's the other. When I saw that, I was like, are we serious? It was her own social media. She didn't have on any of their company's uniform. She was walking down the street.
But you know, you can get fired for what's posted in your personal, and that's how social media been catching a lot of the Karens and you know, the bins and everything out here in these streets is because of what they're putting
fired on your day off
media.
like Craig.
Well, to that I say, well, we've been having to deal with that. So
you getting fired on
with
your
that
day
being the
off
case,
like Craig.
So, anywho, all right. We might not even get to all three. I'm gonna give my second one because we are clearly too much. My second one, and I guess maybe my last one. Hamilton has critics going ham. All right, so the smash hit Broadway musical Hamilton is released on July 3rd on the Disney Plus streaming platform, has been released to criticism following that release. So for folks who were unable to travel to New York City to see the show live, they have apparently had many things to say about it, plenty to say about it. The top criticism being that creator Lin-Manuel Miranda's alleged glorification of men who owned slaves, the founding fathers, and not placing slavery as a stronger point in the storyline, right? So you're talking about founding fathers who owned slaves and not focusing much of the storyline on that fact. And so Miranda responded to the criticism. He stated the following, and I'm quoting here: all the criticisms are valid. The sheer tonnage of complexities and failings of these people I couldn't get or wrestled with but cut. I took 6 years and fit as much as I could in a 2.5-hour musical, did my best. It's all fair game. So he's pretty much saying, look, the criticism it is what it is. It is welcomed. It's again, in his words, fair game, right? Like I wasn't able to cover every single thing in it. There were some mentions or alluding to the fact of slavery, but that was not a focal point for this particular musical. And according to Variety, downloads of the Disney Plus app increased 74% for the weekend average, and as you know, in comparison to previous time periods. So, you know, June of 2019 or June 2018, whatever else the case may be. So, you know, app downloads up 74%, likely due to Beyonce's release too, which, you know,
you people
was a whole other situation. But if you saw Hamilton, if you tuned in over on Disney Plus, or you know, you saw a performance of it on with, you know, whether or not slavery was kind of at the forefront of what was captured in that performance. I've even heard some criticism that focused on colorism within it. And again, I said this yesterday, I still haven't seen it yet. I'm trying to figure out, you know, this whole Disney Plus situation. I won't go about that. But definitely would like to know, if you saw it, what were your reactions to it? So call and let us know, 215-634-8065, toll free 866-361-0900. We got to get ready to go to break. But Kayla J, during a break, let the folks know.
You was breaking up. What did you say?
You want to, during the break, we got the KJ karaoke
That's
coming.
right.
With the folk, they need to be ready to sing. You want to set it up? You want to let them know?
Today, we're going to go way back, just a little bit, with Curtis Mayfield. We'll move on up. And with that being said, we're going to take...
All right, so get them vocals ready. Let's go.
Yes.
All right.
If you want to start your morning with mindfulness, motivation, and inspiration, tune in to Daybreak with me, Halana, here on WURD Radio, Monday through Friday from 6 to 7 a.m. I'm a health and wellness coach with over 15 years experience helping people to transform their lives. On the show, we talk health and wellness 360, from getting your mind right to getting your money right. So let's rise and shine together right here on WURDradio.com, 96.1 FM, 900 on your AM dial on Daybreak every morning.
Do you need health insurance for your children? The Children's Health Insurance Program, also known as CHIP, provides quality, affordable health insurance for Pennsylvania kids. CHIP ensures that kids can go to the doctor, receive health screenings and vaccines, and get what they need to live a healthy childhood. Families can be covered by CHIP no matter how much money they make. If you've experienced a recent change in employment or income, CHIP may be a good option for your family. Visit chipcoverspakids.com to apply or learn more.
Paid for with Pennsylvania taxpayer dollars.
No fear, just facts. WURD. It's happy hour with Sincerely Sarita right now on Word Radio and WordRadio.com. Grab your mic. It's time for Kayla J's karaoke song of the day.
Hush now, child, and don't cry. Your folks might understand you by and by. Just move on up toward your destination. Though you may find from time to time complications. but peace you'll find into the steeple of beautiful people where there's only one kind. So hush now, child, and don't cry. Your folks might understand you by and by. Move on up and keep on wishing. Remember your dream is your only scheme, so keep on pushing. Take nothing less than the supreme best. Do not obey, you must be forsake, but you can pass the test. Just move on up to a greater day. With just a little faith, if you put your mind to it, you can surely do it.
And we're back. You're listening to Happy Hour. You're back listening to Happy Hour on WURD Radio, 96.1 FM, 900 AM. I'm your host, sincerely, Sarita. It is Thankful Tuesday. Okay, so let me know who or what you are thankful for. Call in 215-634-8065. You can also call in toll free 866-361-0900. Shout out to some of my Facebook fam who have each, just chimed in on who or what they are thankful for, especially the folks that spoke to, just the food that they're thankful for. And coincidentally, we were talking a little earlier about how today is Blackout Tuesday. Hashtag Blackout Tuesday. Some of you may be using the hashtag Blackout Day 2020. It's a day when you either don't spend money or you spend it with a Black-owned business. And we definitely saw quite a bit of recommendations for Jamaican restaurants. And one of the recipes that someone shared on my personal Facebook that they were thankful for was a Jamaican dish. And I don't know about y'all. Shout out to Mother, because when it comes to that Jamaican cooking, it's hard to go to other places, right? You got to know if you know. But when I posted this this question about who or what you are thankful for, Brian said that he was thankful for Jamaican curry chicken, peas, and rice and cabbage. All right, so listen. Okay, what to do it? And so we're just saying, when we're asking who or what you're thankful for, know that includes food, that includes, loved ones, all of that, whatever it is that you may be thankful for, call in, let us know, 215-634-8065. You can also call in toll free, 866-361-0900. And if you're tuned in over on Word TV, aka Facebook Live, you can also drop in the comments prompt, okay? But in the meantime, in between time, it is time to welcome our first guest joining us for Happy Hour for Talent Tuesday, Karen Slack, American soprano. Be singing her heart out, y'all. She sings it. She gets it done. Karen, thank you so much for joining us for Happy Hour. How are you, love?
I'm good. I'm very well. Thank you for having me. I'm running around today, but
listen, we get it done one day at a time, 1 minute at a time. But for folks who may just be meeting you for the first time today, can you tell us a little bit about who you are and what you do?
Yes, well, my name is Karen Slack. I'm an operatic soprano, originally from North Philly, born and raised. I still am a Philly resident. I all Philly educated, went to high school for performing arts, Settlement Music School, Curtis Institute of Music, one of the finest institutions in the world. And I got my degrees in vocal performance, and I travel the world. I sing opera, I sing concerts, recitals, in all the languages, all that good stuff. So that's it.
So I feel like some folks are wondering, how do you go from North Philly to opera, right? Like, what if you could just give us the condensed version, the abbreviated version, for you, what was that first introduction to opera, and what was it about that particular art form that kind of resonated with you?
Well, I always had a big voice. I always had a big, loud voice, and I was never able to sing with like the young kids and choir, like in church and things like that. But I went to my first opera when I was 16 at the Opera Company in Philadelphia. They were doing Carmen with the famous Denise Graves, mezzo-soprano. And to see this beautiful black woman up there on the stage, it just made it like real for me. But when I was in the 9th grade at the Arts High School, my choral teacher loved opera. And so I would listen to people like Jesse Norman and Maria Callas and be like, okay, I want to be able to sing like that one day. And so that's really where I got the bug when I was 14, and then 16 seeing it live, and it really made me connect with that sound. I said, oh, that's my sound, in a way. So it's always meant for me to just do this.
Yeah. And how do you personally describe your sound for those of us who are new to opera, or still trying to figure out that art form? What is distinctive about those different sounds, and particularly the sound that you bring to it?
Well, of course, I always say, you got to put some seasoning salt on it. So you can always tell a black voice. It's chocolatey, it's honey, warm, rich, from the top to the bottom of the sound. My voice in particular is warmth, but it has a silvery kind of shine on it, as they always say. So it's very unique, like hot and cold, as one would say. But opera is the grand scheme of it encompasses all the emotions. Happy, sad. You get to play all the different villains, good and bad, and lovers, and it's this big, gigantic, emotional art. That's why the voices are always so big. And we don't sing with microphones, so we have to train for years and years and years to be able to fill these big, grand concert halls.
What I think, especially having worked with young people, when we think opera, we don't always think black people or black woman. So for you, what has it been like to be in that space as a black woman? And what is it that you if anything, would hope that our community understands about this art form and what we either bring to it or can bring to it, or even the roots of it and the role that we play in it?
Well, I think that we have to know that we have a rich tradition, a rich history of the greatest voices that ever stepped on the stage were black singers. There's nobody else that can do what we can do. And you have the, of course, you have your Marian Andersons and your Leontine Prices and Jesse Normans, Kathleen Battle, your Simon Estes, and these are like tremendous artists. So we have to understand that we have a place in history and Black music. So just because we don't know, don't mean that we've never been there. You know what I mean? And I think if people think about their grandmothers and their grandmothers, great-grandmothers, hearing the sounds that they used to make, even singing gospel music, how the arc of gospel music has changed. It used to be really, really classical in a way, So we have this tradition of just great singing. And then listen, of course, yes, I've had trials and tribulations in this art form. It's not easy. It's being there. It's constantly having to prove that you deserve a place. Constantly being extraordinary, extraordinary. So I have had my challenges, and I have seen people come behind me, go past me, but I've always been held, steadfast and rooted in that I have a place and I have something to say, and that no one's gonna cloud that, no one's gonna diminish that, and I'm gonna be here and I'm gonna leave when I'm ready to leave. Not when y'all say it. So if that means I my own projects, so that means I have to collaborate with other artists and other genres, and to keep who I am, to do my thing, then that's what I'm gonna do.
Got you. I know many of us may have recently saw the news that what was it? The Philadelphia Orchestra added its first Black woman musician, who is a Girls High and Temple grad. Shout out to my TU folks out there. But her name is Nicole Jordan, and for a lot of us, it was like, wait, the first Black woman musician. It's just like, or it's 2020. Like, is this where we're still at? Especially in our city, like Philly is like, come on now, arts, culture, music. This is just the place, right? What are your thoughts on the fact that we're still continuing to make history, whether it's in opera or not? It's in these spaces, and just your thoughts in general about where Philly needs to go from here when it comes to recognizing and creating space for, the Black musicians and artists that should be included in these art forms that we've helped build.
Well, first of all, I want to say congratulations to Nicole. When I saw that, I was like, yes, girl, yes. I was so excited for the orchestra, but they should have done that. That's the thing I think about Philly organizations, is that they don't support their own. And we have to call them out when the opera companies don't, support their born and bred singers, and all of the genres, on all of these arts institutions. There's so much talent in Philly. There's so much talent. You don't have to leave. You don't have to leave and go anywhere to find world-class talent. The only thing that separates opportunity is having the experience. You have to have the opportunities to get the experience, right? And so I think we have to call people to task on those things. Like of course Nicole should have been the librarian of the Philadelphia Orchestra. Like, duh. Like, that's not even not a hard, solve. It's too much, rich history, too many arts institutions, schools that have educated tremendous artists. It's always like you're never appreciated in your own land, right? That's what they say. But I do believe that we have to call organizations out.
Gotcha. Well, we got to get ready to let you go. But, curious to know, for those of us out here who may have young folks, or those of us who are more seasoned and feel that bug biting us to explore opera or, an art form of that sort, any suggestions or advice for how to either begin or strengthen your voice in that art form?
I say YouTube is a resource Use YouTube. I mean, you can learn to do anything in the world you want to do. You can be educated about anything. If you even put in like black opera sopranos or opera baritones or whatever, just something basic, and just start there. Or you start with your Leontine Prices or your Jesse Normans, and what it does is like it links you to other videos and other singers, and I say that's the best education you can get.
Absolutely. All right. Well, listen, let folks know where they can follow you at. And then also, you know, during this commercial break, we're going to play a little something of yours. So I'm going to let you cue it up so that folks know what they're going to be hearing during the commercial break.
Okay, you can find me on Facebook, Karen Slack Soprano, where I do a weekly Thursday live with different various artists from our opera industry and classical. I'm on Twitter, Instagram is Kiki Slack Soprano, Kiki Slack Soprano. And the next video you'll see or audio you hear is from Puccini's Tosca, very famous opera. And the aria is called Visi d'arte. I lived for art. I lived for love. Is the translation. It's basically a prayer. The Tosca saying, I gave you my jewels. I came to church and I prayed. Why, Lord, why am I in this situation? So, yeah, it's a beautiful aria.
That's a good one for today. Yes, I'm so excited. I can't wait to hear this and be fully present in receiving it. Karen Slack, thank you so much for joining us for Happy Hour.
Thank you. Hopefully this won't be the last time.
Absolutely not, girl. Absolutely not. Especially once we get this dose of what she about to bring y'all. I hope you got, you know, you might need to wash your palate out. Get some water, get your mocktail, your cocktail, whatever it may be. Get in a good zone so that you can receive this artistry that she is bringing us. Stay tuned. You're listening to Happy Hour on WURD Radio, 96.1 FM, 900 AM. We'll be back after this message and after this special listening session that you get to have. Stay tuned.
Your child deserves to be educated in a safe learning environment. Southwest Leadership Academy Charter School is a tuition-free public school. Both our locations offer dual-gender environments with single-gender classrooms. Our students score in the top state testing percentile among area schools. Apply online at bit.ly/enrolls SLA in all caps. That's bit.ly/enroll SLA.
Be heard. Want another way to join the conversation?
Follow us on social media
using the hashtag onWURD.
Be heard.
Stay connected to Word Radio.
Independent Black Media.
Pico has many ways to help you lower your energy usage and save money at home. Here's one. Have an old working fridge or freezer in your garage or basement? Pico will pick it up, dispose of it responsibly, and give you a $75 rebate. That's right, $75. Plus, you could save as much as $150 a year on your energy bill by getting rid of it. Just schedule your pickup at pico.com/recycling or call 1-888-5-PICO-SAVE today. Be sure your fridge or freezer is plugged in and working at time of pickup.
It's Happy Hour
with Sincerely Sarita
right now
on Word Radio
and wordradio.com.
I do. I've been going to.
You are back listening to Happy Hour on WURD Radio, 96.1 FM, 900 AM. If you are wondering, like, what was it that you just got to hear? First of all, you just missed the conversation that we had with Karen Slack. And again, just thanking her for joining us for Happy Hour. She is a operatic soprano. And we just had this, insightful conversation about just what folks in our community have contributed to and continue to build within the opera art, right? That form of artistry. And so that was Tosca, and I'm sure I am mispronouncing that, and forgive me, y'all, I'm still learning. I'm still learning, but that was her singing. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. It's Talent Tuesday here on Happy Hour on WURD Radio, 96.1 FM, 900 AM, and we are always looking to continue to amplify the voices and the art of folks within our community. So if there are artists that you think we need to be talking to, we need to be supporting, we need to make sure the WURD family knows about, please don't hesitate to call in or to, hit us up. For example, we're over on WURD TV. We're live right now. You can go to the comments section. You can tag an artist or their website or whatever else the case may be. Put them on our radar so that we know about them and we can reach out to them and possibly get them as guests on the show. If you have been following, I can only speak for myself at this point. If you've been following since I was hosting the lounge, we always been about that work when it comes to our artists and making sure that not only are we amplifying the work, but that we're driving dollars their way, okay? Because they pen the songs, they sing the music that becomes the soundtrack to our lives, right? And that is not to be taken lightly. That in itself is a form of healing. That in itself is a form of restoration and rejuvenation. And shout out to everyone who's tuning in and chiming in over on WURD TV. Shalada said, unable to see the sister, but her voice is beautiful. Cynthia said, Karen, absolutely fantabulous. Malcolm said, we can do anything. And we've been doing anything. Anything that we put our minds to, we have been getting done. And that is the beauty. And I say that from a place of pride in being a Black woman and being a part of our culture, and not taking any piece of it for granted, is that just I said this yesterday, and this word just has been sitting in my spirit, the vastness we bring to any and everything that we do. As Karen said, the seasoning salt that we put on the things that we do that ends up defining culture and society, that's not to be taken lightly. And please don't for a minute sleep and think that we're not doing it over in opera too. And that we should not be supporting over an opera too. We need to be doing that as well. And we were speaking a bit earlier about how this is Blackout Tuesday and Blackout Day 2020, depending on which hashtag you're using. And that is either you're not spending money or you're spending it with a Black-owned business. On Talent Tuesday, I'm going to push that just a little bit further in this moment and say, make sure you're supporting a Black artist, right? So if they have a project out, new or old, if there's an opportunity for you to purchase, even if it's one track at 99 cents or $1.29, or to support them through a virtual concert that they're doing, because the Rona is real, so we gotta evolve in a way that we meet folks where they're at, and artists are certainly on the forefront of doing that, whether it's on Instagram or other social media websites or whatever else the case may be, platforms. Support a Black artist today. Go buy their music. Buy their music, whether it's a track or an album, whatever it may be. Support a Black artist. Opera, hip hop, R&B, pop, whatever it may be. support them. If you stream music, look at Black-owned music streaming services. Make that a subscription of yours, right? Like, let's not forget about our artists, or even our visual artists, our painters. Go purchase one of their paintings. I know, I don't know about you, but I can't necessarily afford, the big paintings. But if you got something that's, a 5x7 or something like that, maybe I can support that. $35, $20, wherever you may be at. Like, let's look at those artists that we can support. And so, if you do know some of those visual artists or music artists, vocal artists, performing artists that we can support today, call in. Let's shout them out. Drop their links over in the Word TV comment section. Shout out to Soraya Nicole, a performing artist, activist, so much more than that. But she guest hosted last week on Thursday, and did a great job. And I'm so thankful to her for that. Love her music. I'll drop her website once again in the Word TV comment section in case you want to support her, because for many of you now you've gotten to hear a bit of her perspective, not only on our community but the world, and also get a feel for who's in her network and the kind of music that she's producing, which is very uplifting and inspiring and empowering. So that's definitely someone I would encourage you to support. Kavana Rose is someone that I support. I literally just got her purchase her latest track this past week. So I'll drop her information in there. But yeah, let's get it done, y'all. Taking this quick break. You're listening to Happy Hour on WURD Radio, 96.1 FM, 900 AM. We'll be back after these messages.
Weather and traffic to keep you informed for your drive home.
In the Happy Hour
With Sincerely Sarita.
Monday through Thursday, 4 till 7 p.m.
Right here
on Word Radio, 96.1 FM
and 900 AM WURD.
Do you need health insurance for your children? The Children's Health Insurance Program, also known as CHIP, provides quality, affordable health insurance for Pennsylvania kids. CHIP ensures that kids can go to the doctor, receive health screenings and vaccines, and get what they need to live a healthy childhood. Families can be covered by CHIP no matter how much money they make. If you've experienced a recent change in employment or income, CHIP may be a good option for your family. Visit chipcoverspakids.com to apply or learn more.
Paid for with Pennsylvania taxpayer dollars.
The Fresh Grocer of Monument Road now has even more to offer their customers. This Fresh Grocer location now has online shopping, so you can skip the hassle of going into the store. With convenient options of delivery right to your door or curbside pickup, they will do the shopping for you. You can get started at thefreshgrocer.com or by downloading the Fresh Grocer app on your mobile device.
It's Happy Hour
with Sincerely Sarita
right now
on Word Radio
and WordRadio.com.
You remind me of such sweet memories.
You are back listening to Happy Hour on WURD Radio 96.1 FM 900 AM. I'm your host, sincerely Sarita. It's Talent Tuesday. It's Thankful Tuesday. Call in, let me know who or what you are thankful for. 215-634-8065. Toll free 866-361-0900. Also, for our poets, our lyricists, our singers, rappers, so on and so forth, be ready to call in at 6:45 to, get in on this open mic night that y'all know we get popping every week. We give you 30 seconds. All we ask is that you keep it clean, keep it conscious. You perform live on air. And again, the number 215-634-8065 and toll free 866-361-0900. If there is an artist that you think we need to talk to, whose music we need to be playing, especially our local artists, let us know, put us on, use those same numbers to call in, raise awareness or amplify, the work that they're doing. If you're tuned in over on Word TV, again, drop or tag their website or their Facebook page, Instagram, whatever it may be, so that we know about them and we can do our part in making sure that not only are folks hearing their music or experiencing the artwork, but that we put our money where our mouth is and supporting our artists, because that is very important, okay? Artists give too much, so much to the world, and particularly Black artists. And so we need to make sure that we are supporting our artists constantly, and also supporting their mental health wellness, doing our part in respecting whatever space they may need when they need to step back and they need to just live and just be, so that they can refill their cup so that they can then pour into ours, right? That is not just their responsibility. That's our responsibility as a community to protect and care for our artists. And why is that important? Because many of our artists are going into spaces that their art, the art of our ancestors, laid the foundation for or created the structure for, and yet we have been systematically pushed out of, and trying to come into those spaces or those structures is not always an easy feat, and it takes a toll, right? And so whatever we can do to make sure that we reinforce how needed their voice is, how valid their experiences are, even if we don't understand it or we've never experienced it personally, we know what it's like to be Black in America. We know what it's like to be Black in this world. And so, especially when it comes to art, which is documenting our experiences and humanity and so much more, that's not just on our artists, that's on all of us to make sure that they are protected and that they are cared for and provided for and all of that, right? That we are asserting their value and setting the standard for what they should be paid and how they should be revered in our community and beyond, right? That's the power that we have with our $1 trillion spending budget that we employ every year. That's on us, right? So Talent Tuesday is really about the artist, and it's really a pleasure to be able to welcome our next artist. I hope y'all are ready. Again, shout out to Karen Slack, who just joined us and gave just her insight in terms of the art form that is opera, and kind of keeping a bit of that same vibe going with our next guest. And we got this whole livelihood thing popping here at Word Radio, where we're really looking at career fields, right, and how we level up within them or break into them. And so when thinking about, a Talent Tuesday livelihood segment, Jeffrey L. Page, who is the directing resident artist for the Philadelphia Theater Company, and also an Emmy and Tony nominated choreographer, instantly was brought to the forefront of, we need to talk to Jeffrey, because his career shifted a bit from choreography to directing, and then did so by getting an MFA from Columbia University and Juilliard where he was the first Black man to be awarded a fellowship in opera directing. And so, Jeffrey, it is such a pleasure and an honor to be, chatting with you today, to have you joining us for happy hours. So first and foremost, how are you? How is life in the midst of all this Rona and the uprising and all of that kind of stuff?
Life is cool, actually. I'm first of all, thank you for having me, and thank you for that amazing welcome. I appreciate it. Life is cool. I feel like we're zoomed in right now. Yeah. I feel like we're really super duper focused into a space and a time that we typically don't get to focus on. We're exercising muscles and thinking thoughts that we typically don't get to rightly exercise and think about. So it's a lot of fun. It's for me, it's a lot of reading, it's a lot of writing, it's a lot of thoughtful, intentional time that I'm spending on how do I continue to put myself and my art forward in a way that changes the world. So it's an interesting time, but I'm smiling.
Yeah. What has that process been like for you to figure out how you put yourself in your artwork for the world?
Interestingly enough, I've always attempted to do that. People don't really know me as the kind of person who does anything lightly or does anything, easily or whatnot. They know me as the kind of person who really digs deep and thinks about something in a very deep way. I think that art is meant to do a couple of things. It's meant to jump in our souls, like on the inside of us, and rearrange our internal furniture. That's what it's meant to do, but it does it in a very secret and sneaky kind of way. So it doesn't feel like we're taking medicine. It feels like something that is tremendously fortifying, tremendously exhilarating, but at the same time is shifting our perspectives and changing us in a really, really interesting way, and changing the way that we engage with the world. So for me, how I put that in my work is I make sure that the work is deeply researched. I make sure that the work it has something to say. I make sure that the work has the capability to act as a form of protest, especially in this time and space. I think it's important that we view art as protest. There's a theorist and a philosopher named Bertolt Brecht who thought deeply about how he can create theatrical art as a form of protest, especially at the time of Hitler in Germany. And he was attempting to uplift his people outside of that regime. And so he thought deeply about ways to wake people up from their sleep. And I feel like that's kind of where we are right now. The beautiful thing is I feel like we're at the precipice where we're understanding the fragility of this society that we have been living in, and we're understanding what it means for Black people to put our voices forward, and what it also means for Black people to silently work, in the back room, like Ralph Ellison, would say as the invisible man and the invisible women, and so I think all of those things have a great deal of power in how we research and how we think about art, very specifically as some intentional way to say something that needs to be said is important to me. And so that's how I put myself inside of my art.
Yeah. Just in hearing you even speak about the importance of putting yourself into art, your perspective into art, what it is that you're actually trying to say with your art. It's my understanding that, with you being the amazing photographer, choreographer, the choreographer that you are, you've worked with a lot of notable names, right? A lot of notable acts and performers. And one of them, most recently has caught flack once again for the way in which they went about or have gone about amplifying the Black experience, African American experience, the African diasporic experience through their music, through their visuals, through their dance, through their words, all of that. That being Beyonce. What are your thoughts on especially for those of us who are Black Americans, right? How we tap into our roots, right, which is in Africa, honor them, but also infuse the art with who we are and with our experience as well. Where do we bridge that gap? And not that you're, the one person that's supposed to have this answer, or that any one person has this answer. But for you as an artist, is there any particular approach that you take in bridging that particular gap in terms of our community and how we show up in art and how we communicate who we are and what we have to say?
So a really, really great question. Thank you. Thank you for asking me that question. So I just got back from Senegal in the Gambia. I go to West Africa quite a bit to study, and I have lots of friends there. A friend of mine recently, maybe 2 days ago, his name is Abbas, and he lives in Senegal. And his father was very ill, and so he needed to try to figure out a way to get his father to the hospital. So, I basically said, what do you need? What is it that you need? And he told me what he needs, and I sent him, some money so that he can, make that happen. Essentially, why I'm telling you this story is because I think it's important that while we take from the source that is Africa, that is us, we cannot divorce ourselves from Africa, right? So while we take from this source and we start to reimagine it and reappropriate it and turn it into something that looks like gospel, that looks like the blues, that looks like jazz, that looks like, huckabucking, that looks like, Juba, and so on and so forth. And as we start to shift it around, and as we start to dive deeper into understanding what those traditional elements are, it is of great importance that we feed back into the source. Because if we keep pulling water out of the well, the well is going to run dry. You know what I'm saying? So it's important for us to keep thinking about how do I fortify and sustain this well. And one of the ways that I do it is, I have a lot of folks who I tutor, and I have a lot of folks who I support financially when I can. I have a lot of folks who I'm there for, especially in this time of COVID, where many countries in West Africa, they basically function off of tourism, and there is no tourism right now. Right. So literally people are starving in a very, very real way. And so I think it's important that we somehow figure out a way to put ourselves back in it so that the thing continues to grow. And in addition to that, I think that we have to get out of this notion of romanticizing Africa. Africa is a big and beautiful and fantastic place, but it is not a place of fantasy, right? It's real issues that happen in Africa. There's real colonial oppression and suppression that has shaped and shifted the minds and the people and the society inside of Africa. So it's important that we don't that we be careful about not romanticizing what it means to be an African American and not romanticizing what it means to be in Africa. I think what Beyonce did is, I to be very honest with you, I don't see a problem. Like, you know, I see a lot of other people who are doing pretty much the same thing in terms of what they wear, how they wear it, how they look, so on and so forth. But the crazy thing about Beyonce is behind closed doors, she's actually fortifying the protests, right? Behind closed doors, and she's not a person who talks a lot. So when a lot of these activists and protesters are getting locked up, she's the one who's paying their bail to make sure that they get out of jail. She's the one who's helping them to maintain legal representation. She's, you know, she has a huge situation where she's dealing with water with Jay-Z there. You know what I'm saying? So she's putting back into this space. And then also her putting Africa on such a platform, it allows it to be celebrated in a beautiful way. And we all know that when something is celebrated and lauded up, then we give it money. We dash it. Yeah. We support it. We buy Fela's album, and we buy different things that, because Beyonce is who we look up to, and if Beyonce says it, then it must mean something. So I think that we have to be careful when we look at things that are meant to grab our attention in a very narrow kind of way, and we make assumptions without understanding the deeper implications. Right now, I'm reading, I just finished reading Octavia Butler's series on the parable of the talents and the parable of the sower. And so, of course, she talks about these splices of news, and how so basically Lauren Olamina, who's the character in the book, she's getting tired of receiving these tiny splices of news, but it costs so much money to actually get a real like news story where she can understand what's happening. Right. In addition to that, they have these slave collars inside a parable of the talents, right? And the slave collars, it infuses pain, but it also infuses good feelings, and it makes you feel good in certain ways. So the master can control it with this remote control, right? And so we have to be careful. And I think Octavia Butler is kind of making an analogy on, we have to be careful on what we allow ourselves to drop into, what we allow ourselves to be controlled by. And I think that you know, in certain situations, our phones are this collar, you know, that inflict pain on us, that whip us, that keep us in the spaces that we need to be kept into. And also our phones give us a great amount of pleasure. You know what I'm saying? So we have to be careful about how we are looking at these tiny little splices without reading the full story, because nobody wants to read 2 pages of a news whatever. And 2 pages is not like, it gotta be 100 and what is it, 200?
Oh, they increased it from 140 characters to, I think, maybe 210, something around there now.
Yeah, like and the crazy thing is that's dumbing us down. Like that's dumbing us down after 5 years and 10 years and 15 years of reading, you know, 200 and 15 characters. eventually we're going to be like, I don't want to read 2 pages. That's too long. That doesn't keep my attention. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to read that. So we read these small, but you can't get across the full story in 215 characters. You just cannot. So I think we have to be much more responsible with how we are receiving information and then how we put information back out there. So I think we have to be a bit more kinder and try to research the fuller story before we jump to rash conclusions.
Gotcha. Loves, if you're just tuning in, I'm chatting with Jeffrey L. Page, directing resident artist for the Philadelphia Theater Company. He's also an Emmy and Tony nominated choreographer. Time flies so fast here, and it's just about time, if not we a little over for us to let us know. Yes, that quick. But I want to make sure, first of all, folks understand what a directing resident artist is, and like, what do we need to know about the Philadelphia Theater Company, how we can support you, all of that good stuff.
So basically, I am the second to the executive artistic director. And basically what an artistic director does is the artistic director programs a season. A season is a conversation that sits inside of a community and offers dialogue. So for instance, a curator, right? A person who determines, I want to put a Christopher Columbus statue here, and I want to put a Robert E. Lee statue here, and I want to put this statue right in the heart of North Philadelphia, and I want to erect a big old R. Kelly, sign right in front of a children's blah, blah, blah zone and yada, yada, yada. And so essentially what an artistic director does is they gauge the community and they say to themselves, these are the kinds of conversations that we need to be having. And so what my role is to work very closely with the artistic director to try to figure out what kinds of conversations the community needs to be engaged in at this time, especially at this time of protests, at this time where Black voices need to be heard. What kinds of art, because remember, it's art. Art is the thing that shifts us from the inside out. Art is the thing that makes us think about the president in this way or that way. Art is the thing that makes us think about our mothers and our fathers and our sisters and our brothers and food and yada yada in this way or that way. So how can you curate a conversation that is a two-way conversation where one person who is typically occluded, not included inside of a conversation, how can that person then be included inside of a conversation so to build an entire civic understanding and civic conversation so that we can move culture forward in a different kind of way. So essentially that's what my role is with the Philadelphia Theater Company.
Gotcha. And so as we close out, less than 30 seconds, how can folks support you or the Philadelphia Theater Company?
Talk to me. I'll talk back. I would love to create a real live conversation with people in terms of like what is it that we want to talk about. I don't want to assume that I know, what I'm saying, even though I've been Black all my life. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to assume, because we have so many diverse personalities and opinions inside of the Black community, that it's important that we start to build conversation around that. So follow me on Instagram, follow me on Twitter, hit me up. Let's build. Let's go out and talk about something over coffee about what it is that we should be engaged in. What kinds of things should we be thinking about when we're talking about civic engagement and how our city moves forward in a way that we are proud and in a way that fortifies us.
Got you. All right. So I know the website is Jeffrey L. Page, JEFFREYL Page.com. What's the Instagram for folks who may not have caught that?
So everything else is the same. My website is jeffreylpage.com. My Instagram is jeffreylpage, JEFFREYLPAGE. My Twitter is the same, JEFFREYLPAGE.
Got you. And so clearly we're going to have to bring you back because there's so much more to discuss, but I'm so thankful that we can have you join us today. And loves, if you're tuned in on Word TV, I'll drop the links over there so that you can connect with Jeffrey and get that conversation or keep this conversation going that we've had here at Happy Hour. And also on the back end, Jeffrey, I'm going to be reaching out to you so that we can get you scheduled to come back and do what we can here on the airwaves to, possibly facilitate some kind of conversation that can be beneficial across all boards. So appreciate you so much for joining us for Happy Hour today.
Thank you. And also my friend told me to save my Instagram handle. It's Jeffrey L. Page. Jeffrey, like she gonna beat me up. So, okay. Yes. All right.
At Jeffrey L. Page, y'all. JEFFREYL, the letter L, Page, PAGE, like turn the page.com. That's the website, but also the Instagram is just Jeffrey L. Page. Okay. So y'all got it. Don't worry. I'm going to drop it in a Word TV, aka Facebook live stream. You'll have all of the links and all that good stuff. But Jeffrey, again, thank you so much. And loves, we're going to go ahead. We're going to take this quick break. And when we come back on the other side, I'll be welcoming my final guest of the evening, Cal Ingram, who is founder of Fagan Ingram Media. He's going to join us to discuss his latest project, Saturday Night Chakra. It's a visual and ambient album available on all streaming platforms right now. But this is really about how music can facilitate healing among our individual and collective consciousness. And so we're going to chat with Cal a bit about that and more. So stay tuned. You're listening to Happy Hour on WURD Radio, 96.1 FM, 900 AM. I'm your host, Sincerely Sarita. We'll be back after these messages.
Check out the Source lineup on Word Radio. Mondays, get ready for the rapping professor, Dr. Aaron Smith. On Tuesdays, it's Andrea Lawful Sanders. Then on Wednesdays, it's the Black Women's Leadership Council. On Thursdays, it's a second helping of Andrea Lawful Sanders. And on Fridays, it's Tiffany Bacon. Don't miss the Source. Monday through Thursday, 1 p.m. till 4 p.m. and Fridays, 10 a.m. till 1 p.m. Exclusively on Word Radio, 96.1 FM and 900 AM WURD. Streaming live on wordradio.com and on the Word Radio app.
Pico has many ways to help you lower your energy usage and save money at home. Here's one. Have an old working fridge or freezer in your garage or basement? Pico will pick it up, dispose of it responsibly, and give you a $75 rebate. That's right, $75. Plus, you can save as much as $150 a year on your energy bill by getting rid of it. Just schedule your pickup at pico.com/recycling or call 1-888-5-PICO-SAVE today. Be sure your fridge or freezer is plugged in and working at time of pickup.
This is Word Radio, independent black media.
Hi, I'm Amine. Sometimes starting a conversation with a friend about mental health can feel awkward, but your support can make a huge difference. You know your friends best, so if you feel like something's wrong, trust your instinct and reach out. Learn how to start the conversation at seizetheawkward.org.
Brought to you by the Ad Council, the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention, and the JED Foundation.
It's Happy Hour with Sincerely Sarita right now on Word Radio and wordradio.com.
Remember that? Come back with us real quick. Yeah. Check it out.
In the morning one day, I saw you walking past, and then I looked again. I knew you were gone anyway. I thought about when I last talked to you and how I prayed for you, and how I told you things will be fine in time. You'll be okay. If that was you, then God bless you. You've been on my mind. Thought I'd call you up and tell you God bless you. That I'm glad you didn't break under the pressure. God bless you. I know it's been a since we spent time together. God bless you. And I'm glad to see you doing so much better. See, I remember when you made a big mistake and had to go away. And when your time was spent, you did all you could to prove you had changed. So many people didn't want to give you a second chance, but you never let that keep you from getting on your feet again. Oh, God bless you. You've been on my mind, thought I'd call you up and tell you that I'm glad you didn't break under the pressure. I know it's been a while since we spent time together. God bless you. And I'm glad to see you doing so much better. Baby, you made it through all your ups and downs. Baby, you made it. I'm so glad to see you smiling. Baby, you made it. Brother, you made it. Brother, you made it. My sister, you made it. God bless you. God bless you. You've been on my mind, thought I'd call you up, tell you that I'm glad you didn't break under the pressure. I know it's been a while since we spent time together. I'm glad to see you doing so much better. You've been on my mind. You've been on my mind. You didn't let it break you. You didn't let it break you. I know it's been a while since we spent time together. I'm glad to see you doing so much better. You've been on my mind. 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 Stay on my mind. You stay on my mind. You've been on my mind. You've been on my mind. Y'all on my mind. Y'all on my mind. You've been on my mind. You've been on my mind. So I had to call ya. I had to call ya. You've been on my mind. You've been on my mind. You stay on my mind. You stay on my mind. You've been on my mind. You've been on. You've been on my mind. You've been on my mind. You've been on my mind.
You are back listening to Happy Hour on WURD Radio 96.1 FM 900 AM. I'm your host, sincerely, Sarita. It's Talent Tuesday. It's Thankful Tuesday. It's Spend Your Money with Black-Owned Businesses Tuesday. If you didn't know, we've been talking about it throughout the show. All right, y'all. It's Blackout Day 2020. That's a hashtag, or some of you may be using Blackout Tuesday. If you know a Black-owned business, artist, whatever it may be, put us on. That's all we're saying. Call in, let us know, 215-634-8065, toll free, 866-361-0900. I'm looking for Black-owned businesses or artists that you highly recommend that we support. Black-owned and operated, let me specify, businesses as well as artists that you highly recommend that we support today. And feel free to tell us a little bit about why, what you love about them, right? Shout out to all the folks over on Word TV who have been dropping links and tagging and all of that good stuff. Just putting us on. To the folks we need to be supporting. Like, we have over 60 comments on our Word TV live stream of just folks who are engaged and letting us know, some of the folks that we need to be supporting, but also, sharing their thoughts and opinions in terms of the conversation that we have been having. Okay, so that's that on that. Time to welcome my final guest of the evening, Cal Ingram, founder of Fagan Ingram Media LLC, joining us to discuss his latest project, Saturday Night Chakra. It's a visual and ambient album available on all streaming platforms right now. I do believe that music can facilitate healing among our individual and collective consciousness, and that, for some of us out here, this may be a tool that is like perfect timing to do just that. So, Cal, Thank you so much for joining us for Happy Hour. How are you doing? What's going on in your life? It's been a minute.
Thank you. It's been a minute. You done came up.
Listen, we growing and evolving, bro.
That's right. But I'm doing good. I'm enjoying life right now. I'm doing the best I can to enjoy life. I'm a new uncle. My sister had a baby, so
Congratulations.
I am enjoying that big time. But yeah, I had to do Saturday Night Chakra because we were in quarantine. Last time I talked to you, we were talking about my Voodoo Man project, which, as you know, was an album as well as a visual. It was also like a visual project too. Mm-hmm. But as I was beginning to record it and I was getting into the next phase where I was going to start doing some more video shoots, the world kind of stopped. Right. And I was kind of like, what am I going to do now? What do we do now?
That moment, I think a lot of us had like, okay.
Right.
What do you do when the world stops?
So I was in quarantine for a couple months and I was just feeling, watching everybody's posts and I was feeling, a little bit stifled. And I was thinking, I was doing a lot of guided meditations like on YouTube. I'll go in there and I put it on at night to help me sleep, help just give me some like nature vibes. But I realized there wasn't a lot of black faces. There wasn't any black voices. There wasn't any representation of people or rhythms that I felt when I was listening to it and I was watching them. So I was like, well, maybe there's other people out there that are having this issue and want black people to be represented in this space. So I did a little pivot and I said, let's do a guided meditation album. And I decided to do the Saturday Night Chakra project. Then, as I was working on that, the protest broke out. So then I was like, well, I wanted to I was thinking about holding off on it, but then I was thinking we really need to also heal because of that as well. And it added a different intention to some of the things, like some of the affirmations that I did personally. I wrote some different things because of what we were seeing and where we were in the moment that was happening. It's really been one of the most historically important years, probably in modern history, and that we're living through now. It's hard to to stop and look around and really look at the moment. But there's so much that's going on that is going to be written about in history books for, years to come. So what I wanted to do was to remind people that in order to fight, oppression, to fight depression, to try to find some normalcy and some balance, you got to be still for a minute. I wanted to help people find some balance, to find some peace. So I reached out to some black natural healers, some yogis, some people who do affirmations. They do Reiki work, and because that's me, I work in visual media. I'm a music producer. I'm an artist, and I do the Saturday Night Chakras. That's something that I was doing for a long time, where it's just me, talking about how to be positive. But I wanted this to have more healing, so I reached out to them to see if they would, send me some verses or send me a recording. And everybody did it immediately. Like they just they sent their verses, and so I took their voices and I just built music around that, which was a different form for me, because I'm used to working music first or doing at the same time. We'll make the music as we're writing the song, but this was more like taking the spoken word piece and trying to capture the energy of what they're saying and what they're giving off and what they're trying to find that vibe. And, I've listened to it quite a few times, and I'm really very proud of this work. I think because I think it did, and the feedback I've gotten from people is it's doing what I wanted it to do, which is very rare for artists. I'm so hard on myself as an artist, but people are telling me it's helping them go to sleep. They're taking some time out. They're listening to it. They're finding some peace. They feel relaxed when they listen to it. And that is, to me, then it's doing its purpose, and I feel really good about that. So, yeah, I'm really proud of that. The visual album we shot, we went out in open spaces and just shot some nature shots. And I think it's a very interesting experience to just watch. It's very slow, and I tried to make it really nature oriented. And I thought about, we don't see a lot of black people just being in nature. We're always in urban environments. When I was watching, I was even though I made it, I was watching we don't see this a lot. Also, there's a lot of black women there, which I think is important. Wasn't even really intentional. I had some black guys that wanted to be a part of it, but they started leading protests. which is important. So, I was like,
Everybody's got their station in the revolution. We all got
right.
something to do here.
So I told them that whenever they're ready, send me a verse and I'll add it into the playlist, and but yeah, that's what it was. It was really about trying to create some representation in the healing and meditation spaces for Black people, and it was about. Go ahead.
No, I just want to say, look, I'm so in this moment. It's kind of life just doing what life does, because I had this week-long, I guess it was intended to be a vacation, but between the Rona and the uprising and a death in my family, it just kind of became all of these other things. But I ended up in the PA countryside, and my aunt has a farm. And I didn't know that at this point. She had moved from like a previous residence and like had this farm, and it was time for us to go back up there for the funeral. And I took my daughters after visiting her farm, because there's this creek in the backyard, and there's chickens and this bunny, and there's just like all of this just nature. And I was just like, I want my kids to experience this, because we're so used to urban environments or, even like the suburbs, but that's not the same.
It's not the same.
This particular environment. And, they got to go play in a creek, and, they're in the water, and it's just like having this
something about moving water is relaxing, is natural.
Just
feels good.
Constantly there, and you hear it, and, you're just totally
it's
like
funny you mention that.
Yeah,
because
so it's like we need that representation.
In the album, I was trying to find a way to string together these themes and have it be cohesive, so that you could just, put it on repeat and just relax to it. And that was the trick. There's constant running water sounds behind all of the tracks, like in between and the intermissions, like they're all held together by different, running water, whether it be rain or rivers. Like I found different things for, how to trying to match what people were doing, but that there's something about nature that we're missing it with quarantine. Like, a lot of people are missing out on that feeling. So that was definitely a goal. I'm sorry to hear about the death in your family, but it's a crazy time.
It is, but like cycle of life, right? Like, and I know that everyone is not in the same place. When a family member or a loved one transitions, just so happens that on my father's side, the perspective, the large part of the perspective is this is the cycle of life, and there is a time and a place, and to an extent you're living to transition, like that's coming, and it's about how you live out your days that you do have, that you are given but are not promised, and speaking to just that evolution, that constant movement, forward movement of life, and where do you find your peace at, where do you find your purpose at, and so when and shout out to Frosty Eric Nixon, and when I was like, yo, we got this spot open for Talent Tuesday, and it just is so funny again how life aligns, and that you have this project that just dropped, and he was like, yo, Cal was on the lounge, you got to get him on happy hour. And it was like, let's do it, because it's so timely to have a project such as this. And so we have to get ready to let you go. But before we do, I mean, what does this project mean to you? What do you want to hope for it to mean to the Black community in particular? How can folks find it? And then set it up, because we're going to play a little something during a commercial break.
Okay, nice. So the project to me is all about helping especially Black people find peace in a time of protest, find peace in a time of trauma, find peace in a time of healing. I think there's so much stimuli that's happening that we're seeing so many deaths, we're seeing so many acts of brutality that sometimes I think we feel vulnerable, we feel hurt, and rightfully so. We should feel those things, but we have to, in order to have the energy and find the energy to fight, we have to balance ourselves. We have to, we have to keep a level head and come prepared to actually change the world, so that we leave a better legacy for the next generation. And so that's what I was hoping this project would do, would help people find some inner peace, some inner balance. I know I actually, and this is not even a ploy or anything, I listen to it every night myself. I skipped my own track in the beginning, but then I put on the rest of it. But I listen to it, and it helps me, you know, sleep and find some peace. And I hope that's what it does for people. I hope it helps them heal. I hope it helps them meditate. There's guided meditations on there that will help you find some breathing. It'll help you find some positions for you to heal. So that's what I really, you know, it affirms life. It's a life-affirming project, and I hope it lasts forever. I want people to listen to it. You know, it's not something that's just for now. It's something that I hope people will carry with them and share with people when they're in times of need, or if they feel like, you know, they need something to help them focus. So that's really why I made it. You can find me on Instagram at IAMKINGRAM. That's I Am Kingram. You can search Kingram on any streaming platform and look for the album Saturday Night Chakra with a hashtag. And my YouTube channel is also Kingram. So KINGRAM. That's just my first initial and my last name, Kyle Ingram.
All right. So there you have it, loves. And during the commercial break, you're going to get to hear a little something from Saturday Night Chakra. So once again, get ready to just open yourself up to receive it, to take some deep breaths, to get into it. Cal Ingram, thank you so much for joining us for Happy Hour.
No problem.
All right, loves. Taking this break, stay tuned. You're listening to Happy Hour on WURD Radio, 96.1 FM, 900 AM. We'll be back after these messages.
Support independent black media and join the Forward movement now at 215-425-7875 or visit wordradio.com. Want the latest in Word swag? Check out the shop tab on wordradio.com. Hoodies, tees, and more in a variety of colors. The shop tab on wordradio.com. Show the world that you're all about black. Talk media. It's Happy Hour with Sincerely Sarita right now on Word Radio and wordradio.com.
I am love. I create love. I give love. I receive love. I illuminate love. I attract love. I radiate love. I am a light of love. I am a magnet for love. I am a tree of love. I am rooted in love. I grow from love. I germinate love. I absorb love. I produce love. I reach for love. I choose love. Love chooses me. The love I am seeking is also seeking me. I am a ray of love. I build with love. I lead with love. I see through love. I heal through love. Love heals me. I am divine love.
You're back listening to Happy Hour on WURD Radio, 96.1 FM, 900 AM. That was just a little tidbit of Saturday Night Chakra, which is a new project brought to the world by Cal Ingram. Make sure you check that out. It's available across all streaming platforms. Just use the hashtag Saturday Night Chakra, CHAKRA. Really just meant to be a project of affirmations and just to get you centered and all of that good stuff, which we need. I don't know about you, but our community could definitely benefit from right now as we go through this grow through this revolution, this uprising in the midst of a pandemic and so much more. So shout out to Cal and all of my guests who have made today's show possible. It's open mic night. So if you can call in real quick. We got 30 seconds for you to share a little bit of your artistry, whether it's singing, rapping, poetry, lyricism, whatever it may be. Just keep it clean, keep it conscious. 215-634-8065, toll free 866-361-0900. We had some more recommendations roll in for Black-owned and operated businesses. Shout out to Mother. She said Victoria's Kitchen. Shout out to Julia Bien-Amin of Lean Off Taxes. That's leanofftaxes.com. And then Sharia Wallace. She said, please like and share I Saw Visions, where she provides original pieces of artwork and sells prints that are framed and unframed. And so over on Facebook, it's I Saw Visions, right? And she is like super dope, super talented. So shout out to her. And everyone who has been tuned in over on Word TV, aka Facebook Live, make sure you like the page, you share the streams that happen all throughout the day from all of our Word TV hosts, our producers behind the scene, getting the work done, all of that good stuff. Appreciate you, love you. Kayla J, it's about time for us to get out of here. What you just saying?
I'm just saying it's crazy how you had someone on talking about their healing music today. I find that ironic, and we know that everything lines up for a purpose, because this week, my playlist that's going to be in the newsletter is geared to meditation and healing. So it just all aligned up. I made that playlist earlier today. So y'all got to subscribe to the Word newsletter to get it, though.
Yes. And they can go to wordradio.com, right? To subscribe.
I drop a new playlist every week for you all. New music every week for you. And this week is dedicated to prayer and meditation. So I just thought it was ironic, because that's what dropped in my spirit today. I was like, all right, I'm going to make a prayer and meditation list for the people. And then you had someone on talking about a prayer and meditation album. I thought that was dope. So that's all I'm just saying. I just think it's divine alignment today.
Listen, divine alignment is real. It's real, y'all. Don't underestimate it. Don't sleep on it. Okay, whatever terminology you might use, just don't sleep on it. It's real and it's powerful. I'm just saying, sending love and light to Atlanta Mayor Keisha Lance Bottoms, to her husband, one of her 4 children. They've tested positive for COVID-19, and the Rona, like I said and been saying, is real. At this point, like I know Arizona reported that 89% of their ICU beds are full, and that's reportedly due to the novel coronavirus. And then, according to Dr. Vin Gupta, who's a medical correspondent for MSNBC, the median age of COVID-19 infections in Florida has dropped from 65 years of age to 35. Okay, so all y'all who out here in these streets and thinking that, because you're young or whatever, that is not this big of a deal, or you guaranteed to beat it. No, y'all. We got to move smart. We got to make sure we're wearing our masks. Do what you can to prevent this. And on the international front, Brazil's president shared that he has tested positive, and his skepticism of antivirus precautions sparked criticism for his handling of the pandemic. Brazil has 1.6 million diagnosed cases and more than 65,000 deaths, making it the second hardest hit country behind the U.S., our country, right? So we got so much more work to do, not just when it comes to this pandemic, but when it comes to the uprising. And, here at Happy Hour, we'll do our part in continuing to move the needle forward with that work, while also not losing sight of the joy and the blessings and everything else that is to be found in each and every day that we get to be here and share it with you. Up next, we have the rapping professor himself, Aaron Smith, for Tonight on Word. Make sure you stay tuned for that. But in the meantime, in between time, appreciate you for joining us for another edition of Happy Hour. Much love and appreciation to Kayla J for holding down the phone lines, the boards, and everything in between. Follow both myself and her over on Instagram. I'm at Sincerely Sarita. She is at Kayla J _music nerd. Ain't no Y in her name, y'all. KALAJ _ music nerd. Okay, just so we clear. In the meantime, until tomorrow, make sure you remember to taste your words before you feed them to someone else. And always, always, always empathize, empower, and evolve.